On this Feast of the Holy Family, we reflect on a little about what the life must have been like in that Holy Family, with Jesus growing up with Mary and Joseph, and how that life might influence our own and help us in our own family life. The first thing that comes to my mind when I think of the home life of the Holy Family is they must have shared faith with each other. Prayer must have been a part of their home life. Ritual prayers, perhaps, and other prayers. Prayer over the meals. And they had certain prayers and rituals also for the Sabbath day that they prayed at home. They went to the synagogue, of course, but they also had ritual prayers at home for the Sabbath and for the other great feasts of Judaism. For instance, the Feast of Atonement, the Feast of Pentecost, and the harvest. That was a harvest feast, Pentecost, but also the Feast of Passover, which was so central in their lives. So the home life of Mary, Joseph, and Jesus was certainly a matter of shared prayer. And we can look at our own families today, and perhaps that can be an area of improvement, whereby we share prayer with each other, certainly over meals. Of course, meals today with everyone together are kind of hard to come by with so many activities in families today, but to make an effort is certainly an important thing. The Holy Family also, of course, went to the synagogue every Sabbath day, and there they heard the scriptures proclaimed. And there the rabbi would offer his commentary on those scriptures and applications to the life of people in that day. Very similar to our Liturgy of the Word. In fact, the Liturgy of the Word of the Mass was taken from the synagogue prayer service when it was put together with the service of the Lord's Supper. But Sunday Mass for us is so very important, and certainly renewed effort at bringing the family to church on Sunday to receive the Word of God, to hear it proclaimed, and then to receive the body and the blood of Christ. Really severe circumstances only should prevent us from going to Mass on Sunday. Sunday is a God-given call to each one of us to come and listen to Him and to pray to Him and to thank Him and to ask for His guidance and His protection in the days to come. So the Sabbath day was really a very important day and should be to us on Sunday. Excuse me. From time to time, Joseph would pack up his family, and they would join family and friends around them for a pilgrimage to Jerusalem, maybe to celebrate one of the high holy days, the Feast of Passover, for instance. And there they would celebrate those sacred mysteries in the temple. And these would be so very important and formative in Jesus' life. Jesus' life of prayer was formed by what he saw at home, what he experienced at home with his family, what he experienced with them in the synagogue, and what he experienced with his family in the temple. And so also in a similar way, those experiences with us can be very formative for our kids and very impressive and helpful for our adults. Besides family prayer and shared faith in the home, family love was so important to be expressed in the Holy Family in their home in Nazareth. And can you imagine the love that was expressed? They had Jesus himself, incarnate love, who had come to them and who was growing up in their midst. Certainly, family love was expressed often and deeply in that home. Culture today is certainly different, and perhaps a lot of times we take love for family members for granted. And that's a mistake, I think. For instance, you have a teenage boy who's watching a television show, and on the show, a teenager there kisses his mom and dad goodnight before he went to bed. Would that seem strange? Probably would. But you know why? Should we not be free in expressing our emotion, in expressing our care for each other, in expressing our love for each other? In many, many different ways we can do that. But love must be expressed. You know, people must know they are loved. And they must feel it. They must see it. They must experience it in the home. And so it's so important for affection to be expressed in our homes. Certainly, it was expressed in the home of the Holy Family, and that expression was, humanly speaking, formative for Jesus. Remember, he was a human being as well as the Son of God, and his human expressions and those expressed to him were so formative and important in his life. They can be too for us, and we should reflect upon how we can grow in the experience of family prayer and in the experience of family love and affection. As we celebrate this feast of the Holy Family, I have a little prayer I'd like to share with you on this occasion. I entitled this prayer, Holy Family. God, most gracious and divine, you are glorious and always most kind. In your Son's nativity, you make us your own family. In the time before he's grown, we learn about his holy home. O God, our Father, help us see. Help us at home to be holy, loving unconditionally, forgiving the other's frailty. Help us your love to reflect in showing honor and respect. Help us to pray to you above Help us to give and share our love. Never let your mercy cease. Fill our home with joy and peace.